Hi, my name is Dr. Jessica Kondorsky, and I'm an Associate Professor of School Psychology at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. One of the career options PsyD in school psychology prepares you for is certification as a school psychologist. School psychologists are mental health professionals in schools who support the social, emotional, and behavioral needs of students. And they do this in a variety of ways. They are the experts in the school on assessment. This can be cognitive assessment, so assessing strengths and weaknesses in working memory or fluid reasoning. This is also academic assessment, so where a child is functioning academically, such as math and reading, as well as social and emotional functioning. So where a child is in terms of making friends, interacting with others. And school psychologists also do intervention in these. They're the experts in intervention. So they support teachers with having good interventions for children who are functioning the way that they should but maybe need additional help, who aren't functioning the way that they should. So they may work with a teacher to say, Johnny is not having the best, is not as successful as he should be in math, why don't you try this math intervention? Certified school psychologists also support the mental health of children in schools. They do individual counseling, counseling in groups, as well as social skills functioning or individual supports in the naturalistic setting like the lunchroom or the gym to help support kids in their mental health and social functioning. In addition to working with students at the individual level, school psychologists also help promote the overall climate in the schools, and this can be through supporting the implementation of school-wide programming. These things can look like anti-bullying policies, certain discipline policies, overall academic policies, looking at data to make decisions. So how often are kids suspended in this school? Are there other ways that we can support the behavioral functioning of kids without suspending them and doing it in more positive, pro-social ways? Additional career opportunities the PsyD in school psychology prepares you for is independent practice. So depending on your individual state regulations, you have the opportunity for licensure as a psychologist and could work in private practice. University-based settings, so this could be undergraduate teaching or teaching in other practitioner scholar PsyD programs, as well as other settings, which could include juvenile justice settings, community-based mental health settings, and outpatient settings. So the typical coursework in a PsyD in school psychology program consists of assessment in a variety of areas, assessment in behavior, assessment in academics, as well as assessment in social, emotional, and behavioral function, as well as interventions in the same realms. So how do we specifically intervene with children in those areas after we assess them? Mental health, as well as psychopathology, overall development, typical development in children, as well as atypical development. So most of your psychology type advanced level training in a PsyD program, and then also the education piece. So you'll have curriculum coursework, you'll also have coursework in special ed law, ethics, and as well as kind of school systems and how schools function and the overall climate and functioning of the school. You'll also find coursework in crisis prevention and intervention, so how to prevent a crisis from happening in a school, as well as how to intervene at multiple levels when a crisis does occur. So this is with students, with teachers, with administrators. The school psychologist is the point person when a crisis occurs typically, so you'll have extensive training in crisis intervention as well. Additional learning experiences that you'll have in addition to your coursework are practicum. And practicum are supervised experiences, typically in the schools where you'll be supervised by a school psychologist. And this is entry level, where you will just come in and get a feel for what a school psychologist does and help support what the school psychologist does throughout the day. There are also advanced practicums as you continue on in your graduate career, which could be in different settings such as outpatient mental health settings or community-based mental health settings. And then usually your final piece is an internship in the schools. And this is typically full-time. It can be completed part-time, always supervised by a school psychologist / licensed psychologist. And you basically function as a school psychologist. So everything a school psychologist does, you do with supervision. And it gets progressively more independent as the time goes. So in September when you start your internship, you may be watching your supervisor more, but by the time you finish your internship, you'll pretty much be prepared to function independently as a school psychologist. Advice I would give to students who are currently in undergrad and are considering a graduate degree in school psychology is to get some experience with kids. This could be in a variety of different ways. It could be babysitting, it could be going in and actually volunteering in a school, as well as getting experience in the schools. Maybe contact the school psychologist and ask if you could come in and shadow them for a day to kind of get a feel of what they do and how they spend their day. And also I think an important piece is parents. So understanding parents and what parents of school-age children are looking for are some things that I think are important when considering this degree.